Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. It is a busy week. There is so much news to cover, and it's going to be great. So we're going to try to keep the intro short. We're going to try to keep on track because we also doing a members only AMA this weekend, or not this weekend, tonight. I don't know why I said this weekend. I'm thinking ahead too much. Tonight after the stream, if you're a channel member, you can come join for about an hour of just ask me anything, hang out, chat, little after show thing. We do about once a month. If you want to join as a channel member, it'll be open to all levels of channel members, so you can hit the join button down below and come join. But we're going to be doing that, which is going to be great. So I want to let everybody know, if you're a channel member, we're going to be doing an AMA after the show. So whenever the show ends, we'll take like a 15-minute break and then come back and do that AMA. But let me introduce my co-hosts on our wonderful panel. We have our wonderful graphic designer, DarkClaw643, also known as Ryan.
So people, if you want to ask questions about certain topics, feel free to super chat them if you really want them to be answered.
Yes. And Kaus, Fighter Kaus, what's up, Jerry? How's it going?
Oh, way better than last month, I'll tell you that much.
You
enjoy all those Sparking Zero gameplay?
Oh my goodness, did I?
I
don't pre-order games, but that one I'm really tempted to.
I'm probably gonna go with pre-ordering the Ultimate Edition of Sparking Zero. So, but that is a different topic because today we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. But first things first, I want to address something from last week's stream. I got my title cards out of order here. Nope, we're going to do PSAs first. Last week on the stream, I said that, oh my god, I realized how similar my unboxing thumbnails are. Anyways, last week on the stream, I said that the videos for Wednesday and Friday would be Magmatron and the SCSA D3s. And I had a couple people message me and go, wasn't it supposed to be the D3s, not a Big Bad Toy Store unboxing? Yes, it was.
Welcome to Santa versus Bandai.
Round 2. So I finished the review for the D3s. It's 55 minutes. It's fully in-depth. I go through every feature. And it got copyright claimed for the Stingmon Evolution clip. And
specifically Stingmon, weirdly enough.
Just Stingmon, not anything else. I've sent the copyright claim to a dispute because it's just the recording of the screen. And there's no reason it shouldn't be copyright
showing
claimed.
A feature of a toy that you own in your house that is physically yours. It is not stolen footage.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't claimed. Yeah, it wasn't claimed from Toei's Toei from the anime footage. It was claimed Bandai's video about it.
So it's currently in dispute. I sent it in. We're gonna wait to hear back. Wish me the best.
I remember when you got that. I was like, bro, I've been through this before.
Yeah. And so
Psycho was wondering, what's round 1?
Round 1 I had it was there was a Legacy Dragon Dagger that kept getting copyright claimed by Bandai America for the flute sound.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I never published the full video publicly because of that. It never went
members only video.
It just kept clicking. What was that?
You should make a members only video.
I should. I need to dig it up. It's somewhere.
The Lost Soundout Chronicles.
So, anyways, the D3 video is on hold until that gets resolved because I don't want to try to re-edit and re-upload. It may just click something else. I want to fight this battle now and then, get it through, help change the system, that kind of thing. So, the D3 video will come at some point in the future. At the moment, it's in limbo until that gets resolved. That being said, we also did have shorts last week, which I always like to highlight because sometimes shorts don't end up in feeds. It was Zabu and Zabu's, the 2-part Zabu Wave review, where one of them got 100 times the views that the other one did for whatever reason. Shorts are weird. But,
thumbnail. I'm going to say thumbnail.
I would say thumbnail, except shorts traffic is not driven by thumbnails because they're in feeds. You don't ever look at the thumbnails in the feeds. The thumbnails are just for if you're viewing somebody's channel. So, whatever it is, that wave is reviewed if you guys want to go check that out. Mr. Dookie said, case in point, I missed both Zabu shorts. Yep, that's why I want to highlight these. because they don't always end up in your subscription feeds because it's a different
I
type of
mean,
video.
I think the biggest answer is even though Kazar and Zab are X-Men adjacent characters, they're not full X-Men, I guess.
Yeah, I would have put Cable in their part, except I ran out of time in the Zabu half. Like, because I was talking about Zabu so much, I forgot I didn't have enough time for Cable. It was weird splitting it up.
I'm also very tempted to take your face from the unboxing thumbnail and make a new emote
You
for
might
the
as well.
Discord in.
Or something from the intro where I'm just crawling over the box.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the rest of the month's videos that I have planned should hopefully go off without a hitch, but we will see what happens. Sorry about the D3 holdup. Now, Ryan, would you like to give a rundown to everybody in our text chat for us?
Welcome, Fire Fury, Master Ben, Zeltrax, Muteki T, SC4 Jason, Soulman, Swift the Crow, Jamie's World, Logic Blaster, Sentai Ranger Donnie, Jeremy Carr, Toku Punk, Kyle, Falcon Sec, Sekos, Benjamin Wiseman, Andreas, Mr. Tanuki, Infinite Wartone, and that should be everybody for now.
All right, and welcome LPH. So, thank you, everybody, for being here, and I think it's time to get on to our topics. First of all, let's talk movies for a minute. I just wanted to kind of... Oh, and as Soulman says, be sure to hit the like button. Yes, we kind of forget that sometimes. It really helps get the stream out to more people. The engagement.
Right?
It'll have YouTube recommending the stream to more people if you guys hit the like button. It really, really helps with that. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a couple movies real quick that came out over the weekend. Just short stuff here. Smith the Crow says, "Did you hit subscribe?" If you're trying to type in the chat and you can't get into the chat, it's because you're not subscribed.
Subscribers only.
Yep. So if you hit subscribe, you should be immediately access into the chat. All right. Inside Out 2 came out this past weekend. Went to see it with my family on Saturday. Thought it was great. I think that it wasn't, the tricky part with sequels is like, you want to expand the story, but without like kind of breaking the story, and I think they did a good job at that. I think they kept that balance of we're doing new things, but without losing the charm of the original film. And I really liked it, and I thought it was great. So I would highly recommend it. If you like the first Inside Out, if you absolutely hated the first Inside Out, maybe give it a shot. I know somebody that hated the first movie and loved this one, so it's always pretty good. But
I like the first movie.
I liked it too.
I love the first one. I love the first movie. So I mean, I'm glad to hear that the sequel.
Is Lewis Black still the angry one?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Good.
And what I really liked about it was that kind of the whole thing of the movie is that because the way the premise works at Inside Out is that you're seeing the emotions inside people's heads, right? And you're following Riley and her emotions. And so in this movie, she hits puberty and more complex emotions appear. And I think that was like really, really clever because now it adds more dynamics to the emotions. They don't get along all the same way that they did in the first movie. I think that makes it really interesting.
It actually feels like a natural sequel because I know a lot. Outside the Toy Story sequels, a lot of people have kind of problem with Pixar sequels feeling weird, like you're unnecessary or
yeah, that's true. A lot of them
unnecessary or don't feel the same. So I'm glad to hear that in just Inside Out 2 actually feels like a proper continuation of the series.
Because it doesn't feel like they're just repeating beats from the first movie, and it feels like they're expanding it. And I think it also skews a little bit older in its conversation about emotions as the character has grown up. And also, it's been some time since the first movie, so I think that was a really smart choice.
Yeah, I'm glad because I'm still not a big fan of like Incredibles 2 taking place right after the first movie. I really,
I wish we had gotten that time jump. I wanted to see them older.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely liked there was an actual time skip, and I did really like it. And Ayo Idabiri was delightful again, and she played Envy, and put her in everything. She's great. Okay. So then the other movie is Ultraman Rising, which came out on Netflix. This is an animated film based on the Ultraman franchise.
There's a feel I wish it was in theaters.
I do wish it was in theaters. I do think that Inside Out wasn't like a Father's Day movie so much, even though like it was a big holiday weekend. It did well. This is the Father's Day weekend movie.
No, definitely.
It was great.
I did.
Watched it with my dad and my mom on Sunday for Father's Day, which was really nice. And it's just terrific movie. I think one of our I think because I don't want to go into spoilers because I want everybody to see this, but one of the concerns I think that came out with some of the early marketing and some of the early thing was like, oh, is this going to be too jokey? Because of the way that like kind of Ken's humor is. But I thought it was great because it has its jokes, but it has its really like intense emotional stuff at the same time, and the jokes are how you balance that out to make it like accessible and
It
more fun to watch.
It really feels like an Ultraman, Pixar. Funny enough, it does really feel like a Pixar Day Ultraman movie. It really
Yeah.
got me that very nostalgic Pixar vibes watching it.
And I thought it was great. Animation was terrific. Character work was good too. Voice acting was top notch. It felt true to Ultraman while still feeling something distinctive and different.
Speaking of voice acting,
yes,
you watch it in English?
I watched it in English. Yes, because
Okay.
it was made to be
English
in English.
first.
English is the primary language for it.
Yeah.
They don't have the Japanese dub on Netflix here though, which is kind of weird, and I kind of wish they did.
Yeah. Because I just wanted to like make. Yeah, I like doing comparisons like that.
Yeah, but no, it's solid. What's nice too is it takes place in Japan, and it has an Asian cast. Like
all the cast are Asian.
Yeah, I was like, it's all Asian
descent.
actors, and I was like, wow, that doesn't happen very often.
No, and yeah, it's great, and I adore this film. It's like I was comparing. I seen talking about this in Shin Ultraman. And I think like Godzilla versus Shin -1 versus Shin. I think what got me to like love this more than I really love Shin Ultraman, but I think what is to me is shit like Ono films. I know this are very much a commentary on that subject. Like Shin Ultraman was very much how does the Ultraman alien views us Earth like humanity. We're here, like it got me more connected because we're focusing on the humanity of the character, and I think Ken's arc was really fantastic, and I love the little goober baby idiot Emmy.
And if you're a fan of Heisei era Ultraman, you're gonna have like a treat with all the references.
Oh man, won't spoil, but
do you like Dinah? Do you like Nexus? Do you like Mabius? There is stuff sprinkled in here.
And do you like Ultraman with facial hair?
Yes, there's a lot of stuff in this, and I really, really highly recommend it to everyone to check out. Even
what
if
do
you've
you
never
think?
seen Ultraman, I think it's a great entry point too.
No, it's a perfect entry point. It's a perfect, and I'm glad it's getting the audience reaction it is. I'm glad because Shannon Tindall, who's the director and writer of this, has been trying to pitch this movie for 20 years, I think he said. And it's great to see
23 years.
Come out. 23 years. So it's great.
And it wasn't always an Ultraman pitch, but he wanted it to be Ultraman, and he eventually got it to be Ultraman, which is great. And Spin Dash says, "Is it its own universe or continue from another continuity?" It's its own universe with shades of other continuities.
And yes, the thing, and this isn't like the Ultraman anime where Ken's like the son of Hyatt. No, there's no Hyatt. They're just Ultraman adjacent character. Like Shannon Tindall said, like he's Ken is supposed to be man. You just have a like XP of it, XP of it.
And like Andrea said, yes, there was also Ultraman Cosmos references in a lot of its things too.
I just want to highlight a great tweet I put in the stream chat because I love this.
Couch, you got any thoughts on this? Because I know you haven't seen it yet, but
yeah, just because I haven't logged in to check what the heck my Netflix is, but I want to say that like I like that it's a good entry point. You don't need to know anything. I like how it looks. The baby's adorable. I told you that before we streamed.
I love Emmy.
And we already saw those toys, and I kind of want those too.
Oh no, yeah, I want to get them. I love this.
I love this. I'm putting together a team. It's so cute. It's so cute.
The baby
what I want to see is people watch this, get interested, and see Arc is coming up next month, and watch that.
Yes. I think that'd be terrific. I would hope that's what happens because I think it's well timed. It's not too far away that people will forget. Okay. Now, before our news, as we've been doing for the month of June to celebrate Pride Month, we are doing our Pride Month Spotlight on 6, well, technically 7 characters of LGBTQIA plus status in the comics field. This week I did do 7 because I ultimately decided I had nothing to say about Hulkling and Wiccan as separate people, just as the awesome power couple they are. So let's start with them. Here they are dragging Star-Lord out of his poor choices, as you do.
Star-Lord.
So Hulkling and Wiccan started on the Young Avengers team, where Wiccan was kind of the stand-in for Thor. Hulkling was a stand-in for Hulk. That's why he's got Hulkling in his name, is because he's actually a Skrull, but he's a Kree-Skrull hybrid. So the thing is, the arc these two go on, and their eventual romance, and they get married, and then Hulkling ends up being appointed as Emperor of the combined Skrull and Kree Empire. So now they're just, it's just Emperor Hulkling and his super awesome husband Wiccan. And they always just show up. It's funny, they kind of like stay out of a lot of events, but then they just show up and get business done like every single time. And I just love that.
So they're like X-Men in Marvel events. And
yeah, they're like, yeah, we're gonna stay out of the vampire thing. Thanks, we're good. We're in space. We're fine. But when the Guardians were like messing stuff up, they're like, all right, let's go drag them out of this problem. There was this. I think my favorite moment with them was this really great. There was a really great issue of. It was during the Last Annihilation mini event during Al Ewing's Guardians run, where Wiccan and Hulkling were on opposite sides of the galaxy, and they were like fighting villains, and they were trying to like solve this thing and stop what was going on. And they revealed that their wedding rings were actually negabands, and so Hulkling took care of his problem, and Wiccan was like, I need backup. And so the thing is that if they caused like a reaction on their wedding ring, it would bring the other one to them. And I thought that was so cool because it plays with the whole Kree Negaband thing, so it like goes into the lineage, and it's like a classic thing with old Captain Marvel comics of the Negabands and swapping places and stuff. But then it was like brought together by their like connection, and then they just were super badasses with it.
Well, that's nice. I didn't know they did that. I think Riaung's Guardians run.
Yeah, it's funny, he didn't write that issue. He didn't write that issue of it, but like it's part of like that era of his run.
Because I like that, because I like how they are using the Negabands a little more, like that, because that's what I like about Elisa Wong's Captain Marvel series is about those Negabands. So it's nice to see that they've been doing that more often recently.
I know, I love Negabands. When they started like doing stuff in the Marvels, I was like, is this Negabands? And then they like they're quantum bands. I'm like, those are Negabands.
Yeah. I think what's nice about Hulkling and Wiccan is because I first read them in Young Avengers, and it's really nice to see that they're one of the earlier gay, like essentially male gay couples in Marvel.
Yes.
Especially during the 2000s, which was, to be honest, one of the more homophobic eras of
especially if you were in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah. So it was just kind of nice to see them be a couple that early on.
And that they stayed a couple. That's the biggest thing. They were like one of the longest running couples in comics at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're great. I'm still sitting here like, where's my Marvel Legends 2-pack?
It's kind of, we'll talk about when we get to the Marvel stuff, but like it really is kind of how like rare the young heroes are in Legends.
Yeah. So that's the first slot. It's like technically 2 slots because it's 2 characters, but first slot.
You can't separate them.
I can't separate them. Next up, Tim Drake Robin. One of the controversial things that happened. The thing is that Tim Drake Robin being written by Chuck Dixon, who Chuck Dixon is like a raging homophobe, but Chuck Dixon accidentally writes characters super gay, but just he's trying so hard to not make anybody that's gay that he ends up creating gay characters. It's like a reverse polarity magic cylinder kind of thing. Yeah, but whatever, it worked out. There's always been shades of Tim not being straight in the comics, and eventually they just like committed to him being bi. And I think it was handled pretty well in terms of like introducing it into a storyline. Though I do think that they kind of did a disservice to Stephanie Brown. Like they just broke off panel, and she didn't talk to him for a year.
Yeah, I think that's I feel like the whole thing with Tim coming out. It's less him coming out, but more how they handle it is the problem.
Yes.
Sadly, because I think if they have a proper Stephanie and him breaking up, and then him, dating his new boyfriend, I think it will be a
I
lot
can't even remember
more
his new
better.
boyfriend's name because he's so bland.
Yeah, I think I think it'll be better.
Yeah.
And him being bi is honestly no secret. Like if you read Young Justice, him and Connor.
Him and Connor. I mean, here's the thing: if you were going to make a Superboy bi, why was it not Connor and not John? But anyways, I digress. No,
It'd make more sense.
it would. It really
Connor,
would, right? All right, right.
I mean, Connor. I mean, Connor already has two dads. You want to get technical?
Exactly. No, could you imagine if they were like, oh, by the way, Tim is bi. Oh, also Connor, and now they're a couple. Do you imagine how much the fandom would have loved that?
It'd be much better written too than the.
That would be that would indeed be the ultimate world's finest right there.
Exactly. Oh yeah, because it has all the shades of the Batman and Superman shippers too. Kaus, do you think that would have sold 1 million comics? Because I think it would have.
It would have sold 1 billion.
1 billion.
And that's this thing. Like I already love Tim's my favorite Robin. So I just feel like him being the bisexual icon of the Bat family, I think this adds more. I wish they kind of give. I've read some of Megan Phillinson's Tim, Jake, Robin, and the issues I read weren't bad. It's such an issue talk about his relationship with his boyfriend was actually pretty decent. So
he needs more to do though.
Yeah, I mean that's the same with.
Can he be Red Robin again? I don't know why him and Damian are both Robin right now.
I mean it's weird because
strange.
he's Robin. Like in Zdarsky's run, he is like his Bruce's main Robin because Damian's off somewhere else.
But then Damian is like the main Robin in the Batman and Robin comic. I was catching up on Batman comics this weekend, and I am so confused at the continuity of Williamson's Batman and Robin and Zdarsky's Batman. Like, they don't correlate to me as happening at the same time.
It's like how it reminds me how when I was reading World's Finest, I thought that was Tim because I thought it was a takeaway story in modern day, but no, that's Dick.
Yeah.
Those stories.
I think I think the thing is, I think that Tim as a character is fantastic, and I love Tim. He's my second favorite Robin, except when I'm mad at Damian, in which case he's my favorite Robin. There are times where I'm like, Damian, why? But I will say that I think the potential in the character is definitely there. And the sooner he breaks up with his bland boyfriend and gets an interesting person to be with, we're all better for it. So
even though John Kent is a character I know is very mixed on people, I think his relationship with his boyfriend is more memorable because I feel like his boyfriend actually has personality. Because I think the problem with Tim's boyfriend is there's not actual scenes with them being a couple versus John and his boyfriend.
I think it helps that Jay actually has powers versus Bernard. Because everybody says Bernard
who's just human. Yeah,
Bernard's just a guy.
Yeah, which I mean that's not a problem. I think I don't want every couple to be a super couple. I think we should need a super. Well, I mean I know Tim's not super, but still a superhero.
I will also say, the one of the things I like about Constantine and Zatanna as a couple is it's a bisexual male character who's dating a woman, which is not common in media.
Yeah,
and I think that's also something. Like I think they could play with it more.
I mean, at this point, isn't Constantine omnisexual?
I think so.
I literally was just going to say that, Dark Claw. I was literally going to say that because remember I told you that before. So I was like, Constantine's omnisexual.
That's true. That's true. Muteki's saying, "Who's Connor?" Connor Kent, Superboy, who is still currently straight, even though that haircut says otherwise.
Not Connor Hawk.
Connor Hawk, actually, should I jump order? I was going to save him for next to last. Let's just jump to Connor Hawk then. Connor Hawk, Green Arrow, is the son of Oliver Queen. He has the most mixed heritage of any comic character, where he's like half white, 25% Korean, and 25% black. I don't know exactly how that works out, but good for him. Diverse background. But Connor Kent is one of the few asexual characters in comic books. And what I love about this is another... I should have put these back to back. This is another example of Chuck Dixon trying to write a character he tried to write him like he was a ladies' man, but he was awkward. So it always just came off that like Connor Kent just was uncomfortable around
He was trying to be his dad.
sexuality.
He was trying to be his dad, but realized he isn't his dad.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
Connor Hawk is a character I really should read more of because I got introduced to him with Josh Williamson's Green Arrow series. And I like his character, but I sadly when did he first appeared? Because Connor Hawk's like one of those characters
appeared in the early 2000s. During it was around 0 Hour time or right before 0 Hour. No, it was after 0 Hour. I can't remember exactly. Green Arrow died. He died in an explosion, and then his son that he didn't know about popped up. Dakin from Marvel is almost a copy of Connor, and the kid you didn't know existed shows up and takes mantle. But the thing was, Oliver was dead at the time, and then Connor took over, and he was Green Arrow for a bit, and then Oliver came back, and then they were Green Arrow together, and then Connor vanished, and then he came back again, and then they've been exploring him more as a character. He was really good in the Damian Wayne Robin series that was a couple years back.
What's up with the Arrow fan? What's up with the Arrow fan with their family members just disappearing like that?
I don't know, but I got to give credit to the current Green Arrow run because everybody's finally together again. It took years, but nobody's missing at the moment.
There's a reason why Williamson is one of my favorite comic writers.
Yeah, we've got Leanne and Roy. We've got Connor in there. We got
Diane.
Like,
everybody's
in. Everybody's in. Anyways, great character. Always enjoyed him. All right, next up. This is my shout out to character who should get used more. If we're talking about Hispanic characters getting the shaft, it's Bunker from the Teen Titans. Also known as...
I remember this character.
Yeah, he... Bunker debuted in the New 52. I think Scott Lobdell was writing. And it's so funny. I'm like, oh, I don't like Scott Lobdell as a writer, and then I read his X-Men, and I'm like, oh, it's just a Teen Titans problem. Anyways, Bunker debuted on the New 52 Teen Titans, where they tried to mix in some new characters. It was like him and Skittish and that starry girl I can't remember the name of. But Bunker always stood out to me because he has these really cool powers where he can just form bricks and like control bricks that are like psychokinetically energized, and it always just looked really cool. It's like he could build walls or make like gloves or capture things.
So he has Lego powers pretty much.
Basically, yeah. And then so after he left the team in New 52 Teen Titans, he vanished for several years. And then they finally brought him back. I think Scott Lobdell probably brought him back in Red Hood, where he was like helping
the current Red Hood?
It was Red Hood Outlaw after Artemis and Bizarro went missing. And it became Red Hood Outlaw. He showed up then. And then he's shown up a few more times since, and he pops up for every year's Pride special. I want them to do more with Bunker. He's cool. I like him, and someone make a toy of him because look at that.
I think Bunker sadly has the effect of appearing in it because if you appear in the New 52, especially that book that a lot of people are mixed on, you're kind of sadly relegated to be very obscure.
He's actually got the X-Men problem of interesting character introduced in mixed book as part of a team, therefore cannot get away from that.
Yeah, because, man...
He's got the same issue Maggot does.
Yeah, because, man, I'm not a fan at all of New 52 Teen Titans at all.
Yep.
I was not a fan of that book.
Do you have any thoughts on New 52 Teen Titans?
Well, not really. New 52 as a whole, to me, was like, hit or miss.
It's one of those things where... Teen Titans...
I know it's one of those things where I need to eventually... just actually go out of my way to check some New 52 books out because I kind of avoided it.
Oh, you didn't read it a lot?
Mostly because I mostly avoid New 52 every time I see them on sale because I get bad memories.
Green Lantern, I was fine with those.
Green Lantern was fine, I think, because it was actually continuing the previous continuity. Like, they didn't reboot.
Was it? I forget. Was Grant Morrison's Superman for New 52,
yes.
Or was that a different writer?
That was Grant Morrison for the early part of Action Comics.
I think, I remember not liking that much of New 52 Superman, but that might be later stuff. I'm thinking of...
By the way, here's a look at the New 52 Teen Titans for anybody that wants
look
to
at
know
all that red.
How 90s and red it was.
That's bad, 90s.
I think that's also why Bunker and the other two stood out, because they weren't colored red.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, Bunker's cool. We already had a lack of like Hispanic and Latino superheroes, so do more with Bunker, right? It's like the new thing now. Hashtag do more with Bunker.
Hint, that's a sneak peek of when we get to our Marvel Legends coverage.
Yeah. All right, next up, Circuit Breaker. This is one of those characters. This is a trans mask character, which we don't get masculine trans characters very often in comics, really. Skitter, I kind of remember Skitter, Masterman, only because she was on the team with Bunker. Anyways, Circuit Breaker here uses the powers of the Still Force, which is a concept I've never been cool with, because it's like, oh, if the Speed Force gets things to move, the Still Force gets things to stop. But
and you just go, how does that work?
Exactly. I'm like, how does that work? But Circuit Breaker makes it look cool. He's got like this cool like green energy thing, Still Force, causes things to pause, can kind of work things around. And so the thing was that they introduced Circuit Breaker in a Pride issue. He showed up during Lazarus Planet, showed up at the next Pride issue, vanished, showed up in Cy Spurrier's Flash, where they started using him as like a counter to help the speedsters. Like, I'm not exactly sure because he's only been in a couple issues of Cy Spurrier's Flash so far. But what he did is that like the Flash team needed to get like a villain. They were like trying to catch a villain who was fast, and so like essentially Circuit Breaker could just hold the villain down, and then the Flash team could run in because the Still Force manipulation he has like centers it to a specific area. It's not like he cascades Still Force across like the Turtle does. Flash comics are weird, but he just kind of can just like project it and contain it, so he could like contain things and stop them from moving. And I think that's like super cool. And I think I finally was like, oh, I get this character now. Seeing him in Flash, and he had a cool appearance in this year's Pride one shot where he teamed up with Jay Garrick. I really like this idea of a character. I want to say idea because I don't think he's been fully fleshed out yet. They're still working on it, but I'm hoping to see more of Circuit Breaker in the future.
Is he a young hero?
Yes, he's like a late teens, early 20s hero. He's a local rodeo performer for his small town, which I think is really cool too.
They really should just do a new Teen Titans book with just newer teen heroes. I think
they are scared off because of how bad Teen Titans Academy went.
Yeah, I guess.
The book where Nightwing dates Starfire until someone told them that he was dating Barbara. Because nobody at DC decided to tell anybody. Anyways, I like Circuit Breaker and would like to see more. And then lastly, let's go with kind of an interesting character historical-wise. This is Jackson Hyde, who is Aqualad and then later Aquaman, who some might recognize as Kaladeram from Young Justice. And this was one of those, like, let's launch a new character in a show and put them immediately in the comics thing. And then they ended up kind of, like, working off of each other. And so, like, by the time the later seasons of Young Justice came around, they brought some of Jackson Hyde's stuff into Kaladeram more. And I think it kind of made both characters more well-rounded, which I thought was really cool. That being said, with us not having an Aquaman comic in, like, 4 years,
it's so weird.
He's technically still Aquaman right now. Like, Arthur gave up the mantle and gave it to Jackson, and they did this whole miniseries, Aquaman: The Becoming, and then they just I haven't done anything with him since.
It's so weird. You think with Aquaman having like the actual best performing movies, and they will have a new series. It's kind of weird. Like they didn't have a new DC Aquaman to go alongside Lost Kingdom. Because I know the Blue Beetle, DC Blue Beetle is kind of in because of how good Graduation did, but it's also meant to tie it. It was meant to kind of piggyback on the movie. Right. It's kind of weird Aquaman didn't get a new comic.
It is very strange, right, Cass? You think a movie that made $1 billion would get an ongoing comic?
At the very least.
It's kind of my same thing, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 made all that money, and we're sitting here right now going, when are the Guardians showing up again?
I mean, technically wasn't the the latest Guardian series meant to kind of be a sort of tie-in, it came out a year before?
Yeah, it kind of was, but again, it's just, it's weird when you get, like, movies do great, and then, like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's the thing I wish Synergy would get us things like, oh, Aquaman movies did well, let's do Aquaman comics. But, yeah, I would like to see more from Jackson, because I think he's really cool being Aquaman, and I like his different vibe than Arthur, and I'd like to see
Because
more of that.
I actually, because one of the few traits I do have of because I did get the. I remember when I got back in the comics. I did one of the first traits I did get was the second volume of Teen Titans Rebirth, which was all about reintroducing Jackson into
Yeah.
Rebirth continuity. And I think that was a really strong story. Essentially, like him talking with Black Manta, and essentially like
Oh yeah, his father's Black Manta, and that's such a cool dynamic to have.
Because I like when they're trying to quote unquote bond, and he was like, I'll play soccer, center minded, biggest set of long, my favorite subject math, and he goes, I'm gay, and then Black Man is like, you say that, you ask me a question, you think I care? We're all just it's just how bastard Black Manta is, where he doesn't even care.
I love that Black Manta's just like, and
yeah. No, it was a really great story. I like how he was reintroduced in Rebirth, and joining the Titans.
And then they built him up to be Aquaman, and then just kind of let him float in the ocean. He shows up every once in a while.
I do feel bad because I've been meaning to get the Page Puncher figure for him a while. And I saw it once, never again. Hope I can find him again.
Don't like the head sculpt on that one. I think they messed up the hair, and it kind of wrecked up like the whole thing. Paul Trek says probably because Aquaman doesn't look like Jason Momoa. Well, they tried. They gave white blonde Aquaman the Samoan inspired tattoos, and I don't like it. I'm like, don't culturally appropriate Aquaman here. Like, make the tattoos look different than just straight up Jason Momoa's extended. Like, because they did is they took Jason Momoa's tattoos and they extended them to be the movie one, and then the comics like, let's do that same pattern. And it's like, that has cultural connotations that Arthur Curry is not part of.
There's a difference between that versus having Black Adam slightly look like The Rock in one panel.
Exactly, yeah. Anyways, next week we will do another round of.
Isn't next week the failures or the mess up people?
Next week is the I made it the combination of elder queers and their messed up lives. It's gonna be fun. You guys are gonna love next week. Everybody in next week's list is a hot mess, and I can't wait to talk about them because I love them all. Anyways, that does. So we'll do one more round of this next week. And that'll be fun. I think that'll be fun to round out the month. And I think it's time to get on the news. I don't want to pause us too long. We got a lot of news to talk about, so let's get to it. G.I. Joe's Real American Hero Compendium Set Kickstarter is pumping. They just cleared another stretch goal between the time I set up the news for the day and
we're at 2 million, baby.
$2,311,255 have been raised. There is 8 days left in the campaign if you are wanting to back it. They have unlocked 3 more stretch goals, and it's going to be archival 6x8 art prints of Baroness, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow included with all physical tiers, which is terrific. And now they need to announce more stretch goals because they just cleared the Storm Shadow one.
I want the secret stretch goal to be a classified Harry Llama.
Classified Larry Hama would be great. So just to recap where we're at with this thing, they also, over the last week, 6 more trading cards have been added. And they did a vote for 6 more characters to be added to the trading cards. And it's terrific. And I did want to say that last week we did talk about that they added 500 extra signed Larry Hama book plates.
Did you get one?
I was able to get one. I'd already backed it, and so my strategy was like, all right, at the time it was going up, I was like, I have my computer ready, and I was like, I'm just going to refresh, and when the page lags, I'm going to click Manage Pledge, Edit Tier, grab a tier, and go, and I got it. So I got one of the Larry Hama book plates. So
did you also ask someone to order it in the Retro Cobra Commander at the same time also?
Yeah. That's right. I poked a friend and I was like, "Can you order me Cobra Commander? I need to get this Larry Hama signature." So
thank God we don't have a G.I. Joe Haslab this summer, by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's sounding like I think they said they're going to reveal it at Comic-Con, so that's good. That gives me time to recoup from this. Anyways, highly successful. I did watch an interview with Near Mint Condition interviewed the editor at Skybound that's doing this campaign. And he said he hasn't have any say in Transformers because he doesn't edit Transformers, but the question came up, will they do the IDW years? And he said, "Well, we've made over $2 million, so it would
So
make
you,
sense,
I think
right?"
it's a no duh. Yeah,
It's kind of a no duh.
duh.
And the discussion was asked. The question was asked as well as, why are these standard size pages as opposed to the oversized hardcovers? And the reason why is because they're working with the materials that they were given by Hasbro, and those scans were done for standard size pages as opposed to oversized. So
Yeah, you just have to work with what you have, pretty much.
Yep. And they did say that the individual paperback books will have the same exact mapping as these, and that the contents of each was decided because they had a certain number of pages they could have in a book before the binding broke, and so they just kept stuffing it until they got to it.
Before, yeah, just imagine them doing that and then exploding it at the point where it just can't handle it anymore.
Exactly. So the contents for these are going to be the same as the paperbacks coming out at retail for those not needing the big old box sets. Of course, I go for big old box set hardcovers because I love this stuff so much. Literally, it's one of my favorite comics of all time. So,
I can't wait. I just can't wait to finally read it because I hear such great things about it. So I can't wait to get the retail versions of these when they come out.
Yep. And so that's going strong. What's not going strong is this Cantina. Checking in, we're at 5,035 backers.
I kind of forgot this was a thing.
Oh, I can't forget.
I can't forget. Darkon keeps posting. Darkon was telling me for like 5 days. He was like, "It's not at 5,000 yet. It's not at 5,000 yet. Why is it taking so long to get to 5,000?" And they finally cleared 5,000. They still need 3,000 to go to even get backed. 21 days. I think this is going to be a photo finish, I think, as to what tiers will be included.
Fairly, yeah.
Yeah. But it's rough. But Smith the Crow brought up a good point. Darkon told me this as well. He looked this up. Smith the Crow said, "I'd rather get the Lego one for the same price." Let's go look at that real quick, because when Darkon showed it to me, I lost my mind a little bit. I was like, don't tell me that's the same exact price.
Oh, they're the same price. Yeah, I was thinking, it's like, wait, if they're the same price, but that means the Lego Cantina might be bigger then.
The Lego Cantina is 3,187 pieces, is $399.99, the price of the base model of the vintage collection, and it comes with like a dewback and an exterior and an extra little side thing and a speeder and those Mos Eisley moisturizer things and a droid and like 30 minifigures to go in it.
And a brick remover.
So I think if you're spending $400 on a Cantina, if you're not like, I have to do vintage collection, yeah, this does seem like the better price value. But of course, this is smaller overall than this, because this is for 3 3/4 inch figures. This is for Lego minifigures.
Like minifigs, yeah.
So it's how you go back and forth. I do think that it is a little light on figures. The more I look at it, I'm like, it should have had at least a few more figures, even if they were already figures that existed, like just to throw them in, just to boost the value. But we'll see how it turns out. I thought the Ghost wasn't going to make it, and it cleared all its tiers. So this one's going a little slower, but things have happened. Things can happen. You guys ready for Blu-ray news?
Yep.
All right, let's do some Blu-ray news. Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning hit US and Japanese Blu-rays almost in exact same time, which is weird because that never happens, right? We usually have to wait for the US release for a long time.
Usually.
Yeah, usually we're like a year or two, right, Jerry?
I'm used to waiting for stuff from Japan. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is, let's talk about this. First things first. Mark FBR, who runs With the Will, also works at Discotek. He has the US and Japanese versions of the Blu-ray. He compares them. The US Blu-ray has a higher bit rate than the Japanese one.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. Kind of interesting, right? Weird that happened. However, the Japanese version fixed an animation error.
Oh.
Really? So,
Dang.
The thing is that the version that's on the US Shout Factory Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning disc, which, by the way, is fantastic. I reviewed it. It's great. This is not taking away from it in any way. And it has a higher bit rate than the Japanese
and it's probably it's probably one of those Toei did not give them the correct version.
What I think happened was that in order for this release to get out so quick and go through all the approvals, because it has to go through more approvals in the US than in Japan, this is the version that was put out, and I didn't even notice this when watching the movie the first time
Oh,
or
they
the
did not
second
color.
time.
They forgot to color the remaining black screen.
Yeah, they
on the
didn't
DVD.
color the screen. That the black bar around the screen. I did not notice it, and in fact, I probably looked at it and was like, "That's an intentional choice, right?" Because the Tri-Digivices don't look like. I mean, these don't even look like the original show Digivices. If you look at, the show Digivices, I have a comparison in my video. You guys can't see yet. They're a lot more rectangular, whereas these are more oblong, like the original toy. So I thought, the white border around the screen was just because that was just their new creative choice. So, again, I don't think this is deal-breaking in any way. But the Japanese Blu-ray did make this little tweak. The biggest one, though, was that, again, I thought this was a creative choice. Ken's Digivice was white with black grips as opposed to gray with black grips. And so they, again, corrected that on the Japanese Blu-ray, whereas the...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the U.S. Blu-ray...
Actually, I'm seeing it now. Oh.
Yeah, they went and fixed it. So the U.S. Blu-ray is going to look like this.
No,
Are the D3s 2D animated or 3D animated?
They're 2D animated.
Okay, that explains. Yeah, that was a big oversight when. I'm assuming
And
it
here's
was
the
what
thing:
it was.
I kind of like the way that the Ken Digivice looks in the movie's theatrical version because it matches everybody else.
I always just kind of felt like it's a hand cannon. It was kind of like a purified version of his Digivice.
Yeah, because
Like,
I kind of associate the dark color with him being evil, right?
Yeah.
And so he always looks out of place like that. But I kind of so personally speaking, I'm not too bothered by the fact the U.S. version has the mist color because I kind of dig the mist color more.
But also I'm imagining Bandai going CSA D3
The beginning version.
No, theater version. The beginning theater
version. Oh, and the animations match the beginning versions as opposed to the original. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Matthews Laura said Ken and his Six Ranger Morpher. Yeah, how about Gatomon and her Six Ranger transformation? Everybody went champion and she goes to ultimate.
Yeah, and I love. Yeah. And I love someone on Twitter goes like, "Man, Gatomon just being extra right now during this scene."
Exactly, she's always being extra, like the Six Ranger.
Everyone just spinning around circles with her doing the full.
She's like, "I'm turning into an angel."
Yeah.
Are you guys having issues with the stream dipping in and out? I'm having solid connection, so it may be...
No, mine's good.
It may be
my
YouTube.
end, no.
It may be YouTube. Yeah. All right. I'm going to keep rolling, and hope you guys keep solid. Okay, so I just wanted to let everybody know about this, in case it's a super big deal to you, and you have to have the correct D3 colors, and you're going to import the Japanese Blu-ray. Now you know. Again, it's just D3 colors. Mark scrubbed through to see if there's any animation changes, and it was just the D3s, it seems. So, now can't load the page after refreshing. Oh my gosh, it's probably a YouTube thing then, right?
Yeah, it's probably a YouTube thing because my stream's fine.
Okay.
And Wharton Jamie's World. Yeah,
unless
this
this is
fine.
Bandai. Unless this is Bandai coming at me.
They're going after you.
I say the word D3 and they're like, "Don't do that."
There's a sniper outside your window.
Oh my god. Speaking of Bandai, here's Gundam. All right, so Gundam Witch from Mercury. We talked about last week that the UK Crunchyroll.
Yeah, we were. Why isn't it coming here?
Yeah, why isn't it coming here? Okay, we just had to wait a week, and we got the announcement that Gundam Witch from Mercury Season 1 and Season 2 are coming out in the US September 10th. Both on the same day, which I don't like, because money.
Still no Chainsaw Man, weirdly enough.
Still no Chainsaw Man, still no Konosuba, but Witch from Mercury, these are Steelbook editions. We got clearer images this time, so Season 1 will contain 0 through 12. So Space Oomphy episode is in the set, and if you don't understand Space Oomphy, go spend more time on Gundam Twitter.
That's what you call that. Alongside, because they also announced a lot of other stuff. Like they announced a because it was not just.
Also, it says special features, but don't get too excited. It's just a promo video and openings and endings.
Yeah, because it was not just this announced. There were multiple other Crunchyroll releases.
Yes.
We got they're doing a Yu Yu Hakusho Season 1 and 2 box set. So for people who cannot afford the big,
those are exclusive
giant
to Walmart
box set,
but they're re-releases.
Yeah. My Hero season, like full season 5, not the split in half season. And a bunch of other, and a bunch of yeah. So it was a big Trigun Stampede, a bunch of. But still, again, it's so weird that no Chainsaw Man.
Still no
One of their
Chainsaw Man.
biggest
Right?
IPs.
Also of note, this is the first time I've ever seen this. I usually see Region A, Region B, Region C, or Region ABC. I never have seen a Region A and B disc, which is what these are.
Also, it's not even a region all set.
Yeah, not even all. It's just A and B. I don't know. Mr. G says they're not Steelbook Blu-ray this. Not yet, but Funimation infamously only released the Code Geass movies in limited edition steelbooks and then never on their own. So I'm not sitting here going, I'm not going to say they're probably going to get a normal release.
No, well, they're going to do like a complete series set.
Maybe they'll do a complete series set. Me personally, I'm going to buy these because
you need
I have to guarantee it. I have to guarantee it. You know, I have to guarantee it for my Gundam disc collection. So I'm going to buy these steelbooks. I got to say, I am not happy with the $53 price. But
for 13 episodes?
for 13 episodes and 12 episodes, $53 is a lot, okay? And the thing is, this is on par with the rest of Crunchyroll and Funimation's releases going back several years now. They charge about $50 for a 12-episode, 13-episode show. And I don't like that because I've always felt that is just price gouging, and it totally is.
So I'm going to do a quick look at the other stuff. So, yeah, so 52, yeah, so $52 is what they're
apparently a lot of Crunchyroll and Funny releases are A and B, and I just never noticed. That's it. Okay, I got it. I was not observant, apparently. All right, but yeah, what do we got price-wise otherwise?
So here's the thing. This is I was thinking, maybe because of Steelbooks, that's why the price is up. No, I see there are other releases that are also $52 are normal Blu-ray cases.
Let's go take a look. Home entertainment, Blu-rays, open link.
Yeah, let's go to the wait, do you want to cover the other Gundam news?
I will come back to that in a moment. I just wanted to go with just do a price thing, you know. So let's see. We'll talk about Kukuru's Doan's Island in a moment. Yeah, $53 for Mukosho Tensei Season 2 Part 1.
Trigun Stampede.
That was only 13 episodes, right?
Yeah, because it's Season 1 Part 1, so that's 13 episodes.
Cleric Complete Season. Rent-A-Girlfriend Season 3. Ranking of Keys, The Treasure Chest of Courage Season 2. And there's Annie Migo showing everybody up. Basically, this is just normal for Crunchyroll.
So it's weird that it's
nice they're steelbooks though. They are giving us a little bit more value.
Yeah, but still, it was just so weird. I mean, stupid.
Like Kyle said, it is popular enough they'd probably do a complete set. Probably the way they did Iron Blooded Orphans, where they did volumes and then they did a complete set. Also, the Iron Blooded Orphans volumes were like this price too. The complete set, I think, could happen, and it probably won't be a steelbook. It'll just be like a thick case.
Like, if you want like a price idea of it, for example, My Hero's like when they combine the two parts into one set. And that's parts and not seasons, but it's pretty much the same name for Witch and Mercury.
It's still like 26-ish episodes, right?
Yeah. So for complete season sets for My Hero, for example, those are about $69.99. So like you're getting a discount technically.
I would say with the popularity of Witch from Mercury, I think it would be safe to wait for a complete set. But if you are like me and want to make sure you got it, you're going to probably need to get the steelbooks.
Well, when I say that's the list price, the price on Crunchyroll is $52.49, the same price as the 13 episode series.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Funimation used to do the save editions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Donnie Waldman brings up the exact point and the exact problem I have with Crunchyroll as a company, by extension Sony. I guess they have such little competition. It's the same size as them, so they can just charge whatever the hell they want. It's true. They have they don't have to do competitive pricing because there's nobody big enough to compete with them.
Yeah, it's one of the things that Netflix actually releases their anime and they publish, because doesn't Netflix have home media distribution rights?
They do, yeah. But
if Netflix actually bothers to actually release their anime on home media, that'll be an actual decent competitor there, but nope.
Nope. That being said, I think I have no problem with this one. Mobile Suit Gundam Kukuru's Doan's Island is also coming to Blu-ray September 3rd, which is weird. I'm like, why didn't you just put it on the 10th with the other two? Whatever. $30 for a movie isn't bad, all things considered. This will contain, which for Mercury contains English and Japanese audio as well. This will contain English, Japanese audio, subtitles, and a panel interview with Japanese actors and directors. So it's actually got bonus features, which is surprising, because even in the Nozomi days, we wouldn't get stuff like that very often unless it was an Ultra edition. But yeah, it's nice to see this movie come out, and it's nice to see
you gonna order Japanese one before this got dropped?
Oh yeah, I was about to import the Japanese Blu-ray because I was like, I just need this movie. Let me get the Japanese Blu-ray, because the Japanese Gundam Blu-rays all have English subtitles on them for the movies and stuff. And I was like, let me just import this. I was on Sarugia, and then this got announced. I was like, okay, never mind, I'll get the English release. Japan did get a 4K. If you are wanting a 4K, you're going to need to import, but it's only going to have sub. It's not going to have dub, so.
Here we go.
Yeah. Now, the funny part is that it's the back cover says the lost 15th episode returns, since this movie is a remake of the 15th episode of Gundam. I like how they say
so
returns.
bad.
I like how they say returns as if it was ever available to us officially.
Yeah.
Was it Tomino was so ashamed of it? Was it because of the animation?
Yes.
It was because I think it was because the animation, and like Yasuhiko, who was the animation director, was in the hospital at the time and felt, I have to get back to work. It was so bad. And he got himself out of the hospital off sheer willpower. And then all these years later, he got to remake the episode as a movie, which is what this is. So, yeah, in the U.S. releases, we never had the 15th, so I think it's funny that it says the Lost 15th episode returns. Shouldn't it be the Lost 15th episode appears as a movie? Or whatever.
Remember GT with the quote Lost episodes?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
the GT Lost episodes, yeah.
Mr.
Mr. Taduki says, goes between compilation films 1 and 2-ish. It does follow the TV continuity a little closer. But it is based on an origin manga, so it gets a little confusing.
Well, what about Challenge Turtles season 5 the lost
episodes because they didn't air them. They weren't lost. They just didn't air them. Anyways, I'm excited that we got Gundam Blu-rays again. It feels like things have restored a little bit. Also notice, because we talked about Netflix, no Gundam Hathaway Blu-ray still. And
Netflix shit.
I think that's Netflix jail. I already imported the Japanese Hathaway Blu-ray, even though it doesn't have the dub. It has subs. That, if something gets exclusive to Netflix, it may just have to be that way.
It has subs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most, if not all, Japanese Gundam Blu-rays now have English subs.
Is it because we're in the same region as Japan?
Yes. And I think they figured, we can sell them the G-Reco movies. We can sell them the library editions of the shows. Like, I think they're doing it to have imports, because they allow you to buy them through Amazon Japan. They're not locked down.
God, I'm just thinking, Ultraman Rising's never gonna get a home video release, isn't it?
Probably not, which is sad, but that's just how it goes. Now it's
I
interesting because
I want to see that movie in 4K on the 4K TV. Damn it!
Yeah, I know, right? Sith the Crow says, Seed Freedom we don't know yet, because Requiem of Vengeance will be in Netflix jail. Hey, thank you, Toma, for the super chat saying, need more Ultramans. I wish we had more Ultraman news, but I'm about to get to Ultraman.
We just have Rising.
I was going to say is, Gundam Seed Freedom has hit Netflix and Prime Video in Japan. Oh, Hellfire, it's a better tagline. The Lost 15th episode reimagined. That's an actual tagline that makes sense. Gundam Seed Freedom has hit streaming in Japan on Netflix and Prime Video. Nothing here yet, so we're just stuck waiting. It wasn't like a Shin Kamen Rider thing or a Godzilla -1 thing of surprise, it's everywhere. We just don't know when it's coming out.
We just got the movie in the US.
Yeah, and so the thing is that when it comes to Seed Freedom, my personal plan is I'm going to probably import the Japanese 4K because the Japanese 4K is coming out in December, and it is coming out on 4K with English subs. So my plan is I'm just going to import that so I don't have to deal with waiting for Seed. But, if they announce a streaming deal before then, I might hold off on importing and just go, okay, maybe they are going to release it here. We'll have to see who handles it. If it goes on Netflix here, I'm just going to import the Japanese Blu-ray and not waste my time. Welcome, Fire Fury. So, anyways, that's the thing with Gundam stuff right now. It's very weird, but I'm very happy Witch from Mercury's coming out because I could import the Japanese Blu-rays, but that's very expensive for a show. Importing a movie is going to cost me like $50-$60. That's not bad. Importing a show is like $200 or $300, and that's not, I know that's like it's not an excuse for the $53 a season price for Witch from Mercury, but it is cheaper than importing the Japanese Blu-rays. But that's not saying much either. So, Smith the Crow says Anime Limited has seed freedom in the UK. Okay, that's a sign. That's a good sign. It might end up on Crunchy. Kaos, you got any thoughts on that before we move on to the Ultraman news?
Well, which part? Seed freedom?
Seed freedom, Netflix, Crunchyroll. Who do you think is going to get it?
Crunchyroll. Honestly.
I hope so because I after Hathaway going only to Netflix and then staying locked to Netflix.
Well, yeah,
I would
at least
so your viewer is going, which of two evils do you want Gundam in?
One of these
because at
evils
least
actually
Crunchyroll
releases
will
Blu-rays.
release exactly.
And what's the Blue Moon?
Yep.
But is it time for Ultraman?
Ultraman. Ultraman Arc is premiering soon. We have English voice cast announcements. Brandon McInnes is going to be playing Yuppie, the robot. He's previously been in dubs of like SSS Gridman, I think.
He played Yuta in as Gridman. He's also a Lear in Dragon Ball, Fire Emblem Engage.
There you go.
The main protagonist of Engage.
We've also got Maiko Solsad playing
Michael Soda. I think it's how you pronounce it.
There you go. Playing Shu Ashido. And then we've also got Danny Chambers will be voicing Rin Natsume.
Mm-hmm.
And,
so great to see.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I was willing.
Oh, and then the last one is Lupin the Third himself, Tony Oliver, is playing Hiroshi Ben. So.
Ironic that Tony Oliver plays the former Sentai actor.
Yeah, wasn't Tony Oliver in some like spandex-clad show at some point, right?
I know, right?
I don't know. He was Lupin the Third. Okay, Lupin the Third's an Ultraman, guys. That's all that matters to me. Anyways, I think great casting announcements. Kaos, you got any thoughts on them?
No, Tony Oliver is all I need to hear.
There you go. I love how this casting is just selling me on the show in both languages. You got Abba Red and Lupin the Third.
It's great to see because Tony hasn't been doing voice acting as of late, even directing because he's more behind the scenes guy. But so it was just nice to see him do.
Yeah, like outside of Lupin, he hasn't been doing any other roles, right?
Yeah, he's been mostly voice directing. So it's nice to see him actually, as a cast, part of the cast again.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. Next up, the Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger 30th Anniversary Special episode had announced some more appearance cast. And so here we got, there's a list of people here. I'm just going to go off memory. We got the twin brothers back, who were also in Die Ranger and B-Fighter, respectively. And then also, I think it's Tsuruhime's father. They're all part of this organization. They're all back. Ninja Man, the goat of goats.
What a big shock.
What a big shock. Back. He's back. I'm happy he's back. I love Ninja Man, as you guys know from my YouTube short all about Ninja Man. And then we've also got one of the kids they helped is back. And I love
great.
this.
That's great to see because I always like when they find the kid actors and bring them back because it's always nice to see where they are now, kind of thing. So it's always sweet to see that.
And then we got these two people playing a yokai and doing some crazy stuff.
If this whole special is about all growing up, I kind of want to see Ninja Man for some reason working at a restaurant because he needed a job or something like that.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what Ninja Man's part is in this. I want to know what he's been up to. I know he was stuck in a bottle for a while, but what happened after that?
Ninja Man's the type of guy that I can see. You're walking down the street, you're hungry for some ramen. You go to the ramen car. He's the guy making the ramen.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Zeltrax. It's the suit actors for Ninja Red and Ninja White. That's why they're doing those poses. That's why they're doing the poses. They're playing a yoga.
Oh, okay.
It's their original suit actors.
That's kind of neat.
Isn't that cool? I'm so excited. I gotta tell you, out of all the the return specials for any of these shows, I am the most excited about Kaku Ranger 30th.
I think it's especially nice because we rarely get the 90s Sentai like specials.
Yeah,
A lot of attention. So it's nice to see like a full on like special, not even just a guest appearance, but a full special focusing on it because
and I love that it's just called episode 55
Mm-hmm.
or 54, or it's just the next episode of the show. There's have to be a 30-year time skip. Pretty excited. Tyler Ripley, we talked about Rita's Rewind last week. You go check out our stream archive for that. And now, yep, in conjunction with the announcement that Ninja Man is back for the 30th, his voice will also be in the upcoming Memorial Edition Doran Changer, which is, again, not too surprising. So
you get this to trade off. You lose the minifigure, but you get this voice in the device.
And they just made it, like, more desirable for me to buy this. But I don't know, because I need to buy that master license. I need something new. I need to get the master license.
What do you love more? Doggy Kruger or Ninja Man?
Why are you making me choose my favorite mentors, like picking my favorite children? How dare you? It's like when Capcom asked Kaus what his favorite fighting game character was.
Oh, Lord. Not going to break NDA, but I was recently asked that for something important, and I'm like, really? Just
is it just that meme of the guy sweating? Look at the two buttons.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness.
So it's like 40 buttons, right?
Yeah, exactly. At least.
Toa says, do Signal Man and Ninja Man get together to drink at bars at times? They have to, right?
I wish they suited those TFC like gag
movies.
Specials.
Yeah.
Net movies. I just want to see just all the costume like extra heroes hanging out like casual day like that. I want like just Ninja Man, Signal Man, Bull Black all hang out like after work at like a bar drinking sake and discussing what they did that day.
That'd be so great. Next piece of news. The Bakuage Sentai Boom Boomger movie has official announcement in a poster coming out Deadpool and Wolverine Comic-Con weekend, just so things aren't busy. Oh, and also the start of the Olympics weekend, just because everything's happening July 26th across the globe.
Wait, so you're telling me Mario?
Wait. Really? What's so special about my birthday?
I don't know.
So what he's saying is Mario Sonic might cameo in this movie as far as the Olympics.
Everything's on my birthday. It's just like it's birthday. Do it.
Oh, Toma said, and they welcome BJ Stagg into the ranks of drinking at the bar.
Yep.
I just wanted to go watch Deadpool. I didn't know all this other stuff.
All this other stuff is happening. Same day, same block, because they always pair these together. The Kamen Rider Gotchard movie, The Future Daybreak, is also coming out. And it looks like Legend's going to be in this one, so hey. And it's also going to feature Daybreak Gotchard, who's kind of a big mystery box at the moment.
Isn't Legend? In fact, I haven't seen Gotchard, but isn't Legend just a tuxedo mask meme? Of like, I
will say he at least does stuff.
Okay, so he does.
he does, and he's great. I think
leads
he's
like Tuxedo Mask, but if Tuxedo Mask actually accomplished something, right?
Actually, yeah. Legend's great. I think he's my favorite new writer.
Mm-hmm. Fire Fury says, Mystery Box, he's confirmed to be Hotaro from the future. Only confirmed in the marketing for the movie. They haven't addressed it in the show yet.
I just realized, Soundout, why I like Legend so much. He reminds me of if Lee Chaolan from Tekken became a Kamen Rider.
Yes, he is. That's literally
him.
Yes. Instead of excellent, he's just gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. He's just Lee Chao. He's just Lee Tekken.
Yep. Of course, we also have to get our movie form for Gotchard. This is Miracle Gotchard, using Nijigon and 2 new cards. According to some driver hacking, it's 2 new cards. And we will find out more.
How do you feel about I'm not sure you're going to review it. How do you feel about the Gotchard bout not owning it for a bit?
Ryan asks, how do you feel about the Gotchard card? I ask, how many Kemi cards do you think I've bought since owning it?
Oh, so I guess you like
0?
I got say 7 more cards in recently, and I just ordered like 4 more.
The Gotchard driver really feels like a belt that's better to have in hand than watching videos of it.
It is so much. The Gotchard driver is so much fun in hand. Watching videos of it, you're like, it's just a bunch of lights and sounds. But like when you put the card in and then it flashes the color of the type of card it is, my brain just explodes. I don't.
Are you gonna get all the friend attachments?
I am. I haven't ordered any of them yet. I did order Smaphone, the bricky phone guy, because I was like, am I just gonna buy his card or am I gonna buy the little friend? About the little.
But what about Hoppa?
I don't know about Hopper because like I can't find one in stock anywhere.
People want Hoppa that much.
But I will get 10-liner and Cross Hopper and the X Gotcha Caliber and Nijigon and the Alchemist driver. That's all on my list. I really like it. And the thing I like about it too is that it uses cards. I am a sucker for card gimmicks. I am guilty of being a sucker for card gimmicks, and I really want to have all the main chemis. That's what I want the most. I like the Desire driver as well, but I found that the buckles are a lot more cumbersome to work with. I kind of like just slotting cards in. I really do just like slotting cards in. And I will say though, as a base package, however, I think it's absolutely terrible as a base package because you only get if you get the base belt, you get one combo. And then you get 3 cards you can't combine with anything. And if you get the set with the Gotchard draw holder, you get 2 combos, and then you have 6 cards that don't go together. I think they should have all been pairs. I think all the packing cards should have all been pairs. It was really weird they weren't, because I'm having more fun the more combos I can do. And also having the Gotchard Igniter, where I can do every combo I have, I can do twice, because it reads all of them in the Gotchard Igniter. So I like the belt. I like the belt a lot. All right. Next up, King Oger isn't over yet. King Oger in Space, the next Tokusatsu Fan Club special.
No, you need to get it right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. King Ogers in space.
I love that it basically is the Power Rangers in Space little block logo on it too. They knew what they were doing.
Slap it. They just slap it on there.
It really is. It really is.
So taking place at some point in the series, King Oger in Space is basically King Oger versus Space Squad, because we got some returning actors. Prince is back from Kyoryuger. Cool. We've got the president of the universe, Tsurugi, Ho-Oh Soldier from Q Ranger, which is great. And then on top of that, Doggy Frickin' Kruger is hanging out with me.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what their podcast is like.
Years later. A year later. And those CG backgrounds, they don't look good.
It's funny because I think the Deca Ranger one isn't a CG background.
Well, that's not just set, but like, see those 2 for screenshots, like, just can't stop and laugh.
And then this looks like this is probably an actual theater. But then, of course, like, the throne room isn't. But, I don't know, I'm excited because I like King Oger, I like Ho-Oh Soldier, I like Deca Master, Prince is there. I
do like Space Squad is like a little subsection to kind of continue, and like it's like the quote unquote, it's like how like Ryder has like that Foundation X as an ongoing storyline thing. So I kind of like Space Squad sort of an ongoing. I don't want to say like group, but see that term Space Squad. I feel like them continuing that.
Mm-hmm.
That started.
Kyle says the description for the trailer mentions it's a direct sequel to the final episode. Good to know.
Because they started using Space Squad. Was it the Gavon crossover with GoBuster, or was that the Q Ranger crossover with
Space Squad
Ranger?
officially started with Gavon versus Deca Ranger.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they continued it, and then it was Space Squad versus Q Ranger versus Space Squad, and apparently Q Ranger won because we never saw Space Squad again. But anyways, looking forward to this special. Cal, you excited about it? Doggy Kruger's going to meet the King Ogers.
Very much.
Yeah.
I love Deca Ranger. I love King Oger.